For the longest time, I've been wanting to get a decent headset or a decent pair of earbuds with a mic, well, a mic on the earbuds and a headset. One that I felt made my voice sound not quite so nasally. I don't like my voice. I just don't. The only mic I have that I have used a lot in the past that where I think my voice sounds fairly bearable, decent, not quite so annoying to listen to, is on an old one-ear headset that no longer has sound in it. So I've been switching back and forth between earbuds for gaming and doing voiceover with the old headset. Right now I'm using a new pair of Turtle Beach Battle Buds. I did a Bloodborne co-op video recently that I uploaded to my channel. And the mic isn't terrible. Part of the problem for me is I do have hearing loss. I've mentioned this before. So it's difficult for me to judge the sound on anything that I listen to. Listening to music, watching videos, just, whatever I use them for, for listening sound words. I have trouble. I mean, everything I'm hearing is on the muffled side and is not as loud as it really is. So when I'm doing my gaming, if I think about, if I get the nerve to think about and then do any kind of upload, then this is what I'm struggling with, is the hearing loss and not having any decent quality recording equipment to work with. So, I'm back on the Turtle Beach Battle Buds right now, and so I don't know. I'm feeling really self-conscious, but I'm trying to get past that and do this this voiceover. Anyway, basically, what happened is I recently found a review for Jim Sterling. I like Jim a lot. I've been following his channel for quite a while now, and there's a lot of reasons why I like Jim, but anyway, he does do reviews, and this is one that he did. It's an older one. It's for a game that came out in 2018, but I just found his review because it is an older game, and I had not gone back, to his older reviews and content when I found his channel. So this was one I just happened to stumble on recently, and then I found out that there is a demo for the the bundle, I want to say not game of the year, but it's a bundle for the game that recently came out. That's on the PSN network, and there's also a demo for it. So I decided, it's another freebie, and I do like freebie demos, and so yeah, I played it, and this is me playing it. Jim basically ripped this game apart in his review, and I can understand why. This is a perfect example. This is hunting in the game, and as you can see here, I'm able to shoot this tiger over and over and over again with tranquilizer arrows, and it's not fighting back. It's just basically pacing back and forth, letting me shoot it, and it's like the poor animal is in a shooting gallery. That's what it feels like and what it looks like. So you shoot it enough times, and it finally does become tranquilized, and then it just goes poof, and it disappears. And that's basically the hunting in this game. You can kill the animals if you choose to, but supposedly if you capture them with the tranquilizer arrows, later on when you're fighting in the game, the animal will come and fight with you. I did see tigers when I was further into the demo and was doing combat. I did see some tigers, but it actually looked like they were attacking me. So I don't know. It's very chaotic, the combat is, and I have no idea. Maybe the tiger was helping me, and I just thought it wasn't. But let's see. Jim pointed out a lot of negatives about this game, and besides the hunting, one of them is the fact that it's an open world and it's empty. It's basically just empty. You go from point A to point B, occasionally running into areas where there's some structures, like the area that's at the back there when I first started the video. And but it's basically just an open, empty world filled with enemies that you fight over and over and over again. Okay, this is the perfect example God, I'm really gonna struggle with this. This is a yeah. This is the combat, and this is what it looks like. Now, I don't know whether the demo had my character like leveled up a lot, maybe really highly leveled up, because this looked ridiculous to me. Jim had pointed out the fact that the combat seems a little wonky. The physics in this game suck. They look absurd. It's almost like they're broken. We play games to break reality. I mean, that's why they're so much fun, because in a video game we get to be, and do things that we'll never get to be or do in real life. And that's the lure of playing video games. But just this is not fun. I mean, I personally did not enjoy it. It's not that I didn't die in the demo. I did. When you're getting hit, you know, by so many enemies, like you're surrounded basically on all sides, you're going to take damage. And if you take enough damage, which I did more than once, you die. I also didn't have healing items through the entire demo, so that caused some dying for me. But still, it just this maybe it's just me. Uh, but I think this looks a little weird. I think it looks silly. It's almost like uh, it's like the studio was making a joke out of the combat. I don't know. I hate knocking games. I did it one time before in a video that I made, but that was for a whole different reason. I was trying to make a point about a game that had just released, and it was being review bombed on Metacritic. And I took a demo that I was playing for the first time, and I got the idea to use it as an example of why I think that review bombing, triple A exclusive games is a really terrible thing to do. And whatever. Anyway, it's just my snarky way of making a point about something that I find very upsetting, amongst a certain percentage of the gaming community. But this here, I don't know. I thought if I ever did, like, try to do legit commentary on a game, I wouldn't, I wouldn't have so much trouble coming up with at least something to say about it. The problem with this game is what you're seeing here on screen is basically what the entire game is. If you take the combat here and move it out into the open world, this boring as hell, empty open world, this is all it is until you get to an area where there's a boss, and that's how the demo ends. You do this over and over again out in the wilderness. You get to an area where there's a boss. You fight the boss, and that's the end of the demo. I died once to that boss, and that was something else that I found a little. It kind of pissed me off a bit. I don't know how the checkpoints are in the game, but in the demo, that one checkpoint was really bad, and it set me so far back that I had to ride quite a distance to. Oh, you do get a horse. I had to ride my horse quite a ways back to where the boss was, and when I found out that you didn't have to fight all of the enemies to get to the boss, I just rode past all of them at that point, and beat the boss, and then there's a cutscene, and you get a thank you for playing our game, end screen. And that's when I felt really bad. I'm not a gamer that's that hard to please. Do I like good quality games, high quality games with really good graphics? Yes, I do. I can't deny it. But I have played games like this where, the graphics aren't that good. The writing isn't the greatest. The acting is decent. It's passable. But as long as the game is playable, I mean, if it functions, if it, the frame rate is stable, and there's not a lot of bugs and glitches and clipping and the various things that as gamers we all know can go wrong in a game, then I'm fine with it. The problem with this game, even though it ran well and I had no bugs or glitches, the frame rate was consistent all the way through the demo. The gameplay sucked. The open world was boring and ugly, and just I several times during the demo I came close to quitting. I was not having any fun, but I don't know. I'm kind of weird that way. I decided to to get to the end of it. Uh, I don't know. Jim said that this is the worst game in the series. Uh, that was what he said. He mentioned that he had played the previous games and that they were okay. He said they were decent. He said this one was not, and he's right. It just isn't. It's so even though it is an older game, the fact is they have re-released it, and for anybody that hasn't played the game, but you have played the previous games and you thought maybe you'd try this one, I would suggest not doing it. I mean, unless you're really desperate to get back into the world. Uh, the game has. This is one of the few games I've ever played where I can't really find anything positive to say about it, and that's why, besides just being, really, really shy and awkward, doing this, I have nothing to say. I mean, what's in this video is basically what the game is, and for me, it was not fun at all. So, if you have extra money to spend, buy something else. It doesn't even have to be a game. If you have other things you're wanting to pick up, do it. Either that or just flush your money down the toilet, because I think it would be, you know, better than spending it on this game. So I've rambled on like I usually do, and I'm going to shut up and let the rest of the video play out.